Good afternoon. This is Anton Weber with Norton Yachts here in Deltaville, Virginia, and we're here on the Jeanneau NC 895 Series 2. We're going to do a full and complete walkthrough of this boat, which they have made a number of really outstanding changes to, including just how sturdy the boat is and how well it rides. So come along with us for a full walkthrough. So here we are starting at the back of the boat, and I just wanted to move all the way across from port to starboard and show you all of the features of the boat. And this boat is fully loaded, so it's got everything you probably ever have at the back of this particular boat. Starting up here on the port side, you've got your fuel fill, and these clips and snaps are for a full enclosure. The area is right here so that you can snap in and then clip and snap and secure your full enclosure to the boat. You've got two shore power inlets. Both are 30 amp, although they can be converted to 50 amp if your power needs increase in the future. You've got your house side battery charging and your climatization for your air conditioning right here. Couple of vents just for wicking away moisture, and you've got a diesel fuel fill or a generator right here. Moving down in this direction, you've got a D-ring that I've yet to figure out what to do with, but you could do something with it. So I don't know whether it's there for towing, or I would suspect it's actually here for European mooring, where you were backing into the slip and trying to pull yourself away from the dock. You've got underwater lights right here. These are Lumishore underwater lights, as well as your zip wake automatic trim tabs. They're the 450S model. Coming over here, you've got drainage for your engine well, and then around the back of the boat, you've got some lights. These are fairly new to Yamaha. They're not actually reverse lights. They are indicator lights to allow you, for when you are swimming in the water, to understand that the boat is in joystick mode and could engage in gear at any time. So it's really just a safety feature. Once you hit the joystick button, these actually start to flash just to let you know to stay out of the way of the propellers. Down here on the engines, we have your anodes, and there are two main anodes, and there's one set of each for each engine to allow you to deal with any stray current. You have another drain hole here for your engine well, as well as this is your underwater exhaust for your generator. So that keeps it quiet when the generator's running. You've got another through hole, which I'll show you in a moment, where the air goes from the exhaust, and there's a little bit of water that comes out just to indicate that the generator is running and working properly. So moving over to this side, you basically have the reverse set of everything that was on the side of the boat over there. In addition, you've got a nice sturdy boarding ladder and a nice sturdy handrail for help getting in and out of the water. This actually folds up and flips over and clips in. You can also Velcro it together just in case it does flop up or is left down. Instead of extending, if the Velcro is engaged, it'll just hold it right there instead of dropping down into the water. But since we're going to get on in a minute, we're going to leave it down. This is a hot and cold running shower with a shower head, which I'm trying to get out backwards here. So this gives you hot and cold running water at the back of the boat, fresh water. So great spot right there. You've got a nice little handhold right here for pulling yourself up and over the top if you are in the water. And then the dirty side here, because this boat actually just came back from the Virginia Beach boat show, so we've actually got a little bit of dirt on the boat, but it's going to get cleaned up. This is the exhaust that I was speaking about earlier. This is where you'll get a little dribble of water just as an indication that your generator is running correctly, and then the air actually comes out here. The exhaust and the water exhaust goes out the other way. So up here we have your boarding door, which is versus the Series 1. This Series 2 boarding door is enormous and really was something that they took from the NC Sport model, and everybody really loves this extra large boarding door. Right here you have a vent. This is just to drain one of your cup holders up there, and this is your air vent for your fuel fill. So let's go up on board and we'll take a look at the back of the boat, or I should say the cockpit of the boat. So welcome aboard. Here we are at the back of the boat, and I just wanted to show you right here how this gate works. It's just a lift and swing gate that actually locks into place right there. Obviously, you have a little bit of an access port right here to get to any of your fuel fills if you should need to. And then you have another vent back here, as well as a lighting. This is floor lighting, so it's nice ambiance. They are blue lights. And then as you come forward, obviously we have the boarding door here. There we go. And magnets to hold it in place once it's open. So as you can see, it's a nice big boarding area. Right here, you have got your manual bilge pump. If you are using this, you're having a pretty bad day, but this is directly to the bilge, and you can move a lot of water with a manual bilge pump, especially if you're scared enough. So additionally, we've got some more lighting, some more venting, and then this area right here is, if you have ordered the boat without the vitreous ceramic top, it's a little dirty right now from, again, a little road dirt from coming back from the Virginia Beach show. But this would normally be, I shouldn't say normally, if you bought the stock boat, which would come with a propane stove, this would be a propane bottle in here. As it stands, you can use it for whatever you like. We've actually had some people who've converted this to a live bait well who are more serious about fishing. And then along the floor here, we've got your freshwater fill, as well as more of your blue ambiance foot lighting, and the black one up there is for your black water tank. Coming across this way at the back of the boat, we want to look at the storage underneath this guy right here. You've got a nice big storage space for lines and fenders back here. This is a wet locker, so you can do as you please. Over here, you got your cushions and your bits and pieces. There's a, I can't get to it at the moment, but there's a access port right there, and as well you have a convertible bench right here that makes the space much bigger. I did want to talk about the U-shaped cockpit for a minute because it's an option on the build sheet. And if you don't get the U-shaped cockpit, you basically have this back bench with this as an option, or an L-shaped cockpit. This particular piece, some people love it, some people don't like it. The reality is that you can take this off very easily. So if you look in here, there's two little black screws in there. They're just little hand screws. You can unscrew that, and you can take this off and put it on the dock. Most people leave this on the boat because when you do have the table in, it gives you more extensive seating around the table. So, it's a nice spot where you can fit a couple of kids or a couple of people smaller than me. So there is the back of the boat, and then you have got a walkway to the front. But to be very clear, most people take the conveniently widened starboard side path to the front of the boat, and that is their intention, is they actually offset the entire cockpit off to port so that you have a really nice path, very safe, very deep, going forward on the boat. And then the last thing to show you back here at the back of the boat is this giant locker, which, as you can see, has got battery compartments back here. There's some of your air conditioning and generator raw water uptake there, your generators over here, and your fuel tanks on either side with access ports on top and as well as on the side. A lot of your wiring is running back and forth through the space. we still have a tremendous amount of space to store stuff as well on the boat. So underneath the hardtop here, you actually have connectors for your bimini, which actually comes out to about here and then connects to the back of the seat over here. You've got 2 of your 4 speakers right here, and you've actually got 2 zones on this boat, so you can control them either from the Garmin or the control head for the stereo, which we'll get to in a minute. And then you've got a touch light right here, which gives you great lighting at the back of the boat if you really need to light things up. Having said that, the floor lighting does a great job at night of just kind of giving you enough ambiance to get in and out. And then moving down, this is really the back of the inside of the boat, but you have this feature here, which extends your usable space for chopping, cutting, and serving right here. And then underneath that, you have all of your battery switches, your crossover, and your main fuse for the windlass up front. So if you ever hit the button and your windlass isn't working 90% of the time, 99% of the time, it is that fuse has been overloaded one way or the other. And usually that one way is that somebody mashed on the button too much without driving forward with the engines, or the engines weren't on when you went to start using the windlass. So negative here, and your 2 positive for your house and your engines. And then this is for your generator, and you have the ability to cross over and connect those batteries if you should run your help me out here, your engine start batteries down. And you can cross over and you have emergency use of that. Technically that key should be out, but I'm going to work on that a little later. So here we are. That is the back of the Jeanneau NC 895 Series 2. Let's go inside and take a look in there. All right, so just to show you the living space, or the saloon, what we have here is we have a storage unit, or overhead cabinets right here. Nice opening and closing, nice and deep for this size boat. And then down here you have your cup holders, your sink, and your kitchen workspace here. So you can, in any configuration you want, start to move these around, move them back to this space here, take them up if you're in full cook and clean mode. And then you've got your drawers and cupboards down below here. We've still got some staging from the Virginia Beach show. All of these are soft close. So even the swinging cabinets are also soft close. Right down in here, you have your water heater switch, which we always leave off. And as a matter of fact, it's off in about 3 places before we actually commission the boat, including not being plugged in so we don't burn out the element without any water. And you've got a garbage can that actually pulls out, and there's recycling and garbage in here. So, and it actually lifts up a little bit to help you out when you pull it out. And then, as you can see, it will soft close. In this space, you have the option of either having a microwave. Right now, there's a curtain in there for the back that will black out this whole area up here if someone is sleeping there. And down below that, this is always storage down here. It's nice and deep in there. So again, you have that soft close functionality on both the drawers and the swing doors. You have a nice refrigerator right here. Okay, so we had that on for our waters at the boat show. Anyways, you've got a nice size fridge here, and I can tell you that, right, if you buy yourself an 8-pound bag of ice and have 2 drinks, that 8-pound bag of ice will fit right in there. So just a pro tip. And then over on this side, what you've got is you've got your air conditioning unit under here. It's actually, you can pull this piece off, and there's a couple of screws and a top plate there. Once you pull that off, you have access to your actual air conditioning unit. You've got your air conditioning unit control head over here. Nice seat at the back for people to enjoy the view forward. And then you've also got a nice sliding window here. It's huge. It is one of my favorite things about this boat is how easy it is to control the airflow through here. In addition to these vents that you have up here, which are just automatic air from the outside of the boat, you've also got the ability to open and close your overhead sliders, and you can literally just keep them cracked like this, or you can open them halfway and they'll lock anywhere in there with this locking bar. So in addition, you have got a sunshade on one side, and you have you have a mosquito netting on the other side. So it's two-way shade. You can do either one that you like. As well, your two inside speakers are up above your heads on the port and the starboard side, right across from each other. And then we have got the ability, once your silverware and plates and whatnot are out, you've got the ability to flip this up and move this seat backwards so that you can have a co-pilot seat that's sitting here right next to whoever's captaining the boat at that particular moment. And yeah, I love this space. I love being able to sit here while somebody is driving the boat, and we can have a nice conversation right next to each other. If the back door is closed, we'll be talking just like I'm talking right now, hear each other perfectly. So I want to show you now all of the cool stuff at the Helm station. So one of the best parts about the 895 is how much they've just packed into this small boat and how many awesome little features they have. One of the things that I almost always buy with this boat is the upgraded Helm seat. And this allows you, I think they both go back and forth like this, but the upgraded Helm seat allows you 3 different locking positions: forward facing, a position to just chat with your mate over here, or the ability to turn the seat entirely sideways and chat with your whole crew over here. So I love that piece of this boat. Up here we have a Garmin, I think it's a 315 VHF. Thank you. And down back behind here we have a 110 outlet, as well as your GFCI. So you can reset that fairly easy from right here. And then you have fuel shutoffs for both of your fuel tanks in case you were to have an engine fire, which is a very unlikely scenario, but it's required in Europe, and it's always nice to have. So moving forward, we've got your Fusion stereo system. Again, that's got 2 zones. It's got an interior zone and it's got an exterior zone. Love this thing. You can also control it from the Garmin. It's already set up and ready to go in there. Most people just Bluetooth into that and life is happy. So starting back here at the Helm station, you've got your digital throttles. So this guy's got 2. You have the ability to start and stop, by the way, down here, each engine individually, as well as both engines at the same time. You've got your trim, tilt up and down. This is for both engines, and you've got the ability to trim and tilt each individual engine right here on the front of the throttle. Boats are coming in with both options, what I would call your normal USB and your USB-C, as well as a 12-volt cigarette lighter down here, and your windshield wiper and windshield wiper fluid right here. So you've got the ability to use each wiper individually, and you've got your windshield wiper fluid. This is new on this model, and it's starting, I shouldn't say it's starting, we are getting it on every boat that we have the ability to order it on, which is almost every boat now, which is a proportional bow thruster that is integrated with your joystick. So once your bow thruster is on and you go to use your joystick, it will give you as much power as it thinks it needs to move the boat directly sideways. So it's no longer just the engines pulling the boat sideways. It's the engines with however much bow thruster you need. So it's not just a digitally on or off bow thruster. It can use 25% power, it can use 33% power, whatever it thinks it needs based on what the joystick is telling you to have. And then you have got your Yamaha controls for your autopilot right here, which gives you the ability to heading hold and course hold and pattern steer. I don't get into the fishing stuff, but that's where that comes in, the pattern steering. And then your Yamaha engine display right here, which is also can be displayed onto the Garmin. And then you have your joystick where you engage it and you can functionally move the power up and down depending on how much current and wind you have going on. Compass right up here. Garmin, I believe this is a 12-inch display. And then you have all of your lights, your ability to control your windlass from right here, your horn. The horn hasn't been set up yet, so it sounds like a wounded duck. So it's got some plastic over the front of it. And then your two bilge pumps right here. You've got a zip wake, which is automatic. We find that 99% of the people basically set up their zip wake once and then they never think about it again. You've also got the ability to control your spotlight up the top. Someone was asking me the question the other day, how much light does that spotlight provide? It provides a ton of light, about at least 100 feet out in front of the boat. So when I'm coming into a harbor in the middle of the night and I'm looking for unlit markers, day markers, this thing has the ability to light those up from a significant distance away. And then you've got your helm right here. So that is the helm station on this boat, except for my favorite feature, which is the captain's door right here. You have the ability to open this guy up, and if you're docking this boat by yourself, you have the ability to just pop out here, jump right to this midship cleat, and off you go. You're tied up to the dock. So coming down below on the port side, you've got the guest cabin, which actually I frequently sleep in the guest cabin because in a minute I'm going to show you a queen size berth down below. But you've got your light switches up the top there. You've got your 110 switching between shore power and generator, your generator start, and your generator fuel tank down there. Coming down, you've got a nice big picture window there, as well as a seat. And then going in down below, you'll notice that there's a panel on the backside there, and that behind that panel is your 110 breaker. And then panning around to what would be the foot of the bed, you have access panel to your ship systems, your hot water heaters in there, a few other critical systems, your water pumps, whatnot, are in that space. So that is your port aft cabin. And we're going to go take a look at the head here for a minute. So here I am in the head, and for a 30-foot boat, to be able to have 6+ feet, probably 6'2" really, of headroom where you can actually take a shower. So the sink hose pulls out and you can position it right here and get yourself a nice shower. It is a wet head, but it is tall and it is big for a 30-footer. They've got a great use of space in this head. So you've also got access to behind your helm station here where all of your electronics and whatnot are. You've got plenty of space down below for storage and access to some of your shower sump and whatnot. But all of this opens up, and you've got great access. Here's a little fuse schematic, which is awesome to have right there in case you need it at the back of the helm. So one place there's not any soft closing doors. In here we have got your flush. So this is a freshwater toilet, and you have the ability to add water, flush and add water at the same time. You've got something for your holding tank right here, which is for your water right here, and your holding tank right there. So this is to turn on your shower sump right there, and this is your macerator pump, which we don't want to hit unless you have opened the valve to the outside, which you can only do when you are offshore. So you have the ability to pull this up and it secures to there, and you've got a toilet right here. So it's a nice space, given, like I said, that we are on a 30-foot boat. So there you go. And you have a port light opening window right here. Fantastic space. Welcome to the owner's cabin. So this is a cool space on a 30-foot boat. You've got these beautiful picture windows over here. You've got this nice big bed, which actually extends out for taller people. There's a 10-inch insert that goes in there. You just pull this end out. So when you're ready for bed, you pull that out. A lot of people actually leave it that way. And down below here, you've got a massive amount of storage and access to some of your other systems in here. So you know what? They moved the hot water heater on me just to make a fool of me. But there's other ship systems in that back compartment. But this is a much more convenient place for that piece of equipment. And then as well, down here, you've got access to your macerator pump, which if I would hit that button, I would have been just fine because it was open. And then this is your fill for your windshield wiper fluid right there, and some hosing running back and forth. On this side, you have access to your TV antenna, as well as a plug, which if you have a TV, would plug into that, that plug down there. You've got some nice shades that go back and forth. This is obviously covered up by some cushions at the moment, but you can actually, from up top, you can just flip that open and have both of these hatches open, and you can actually get out, or you can actually get out of that hatch up there if you need to. So additionally, on the port side, we've got a nice hanging locker here of good size, as well as cabinets on both sides of the boat for additional storage. And down here, we have a 12-volt outlet again. So you can actually, this is a USB, so this is your USB-C and your regular USB right there, as well as another 110 outlet right there. And same overhead cabinet space over on this side. So one more thing. So here is your little forward hatch right there with access to the outside. This has got a cover that you can move, and then you've also got reading lights that you can turn on or off individually, so you don't have to get up and flick off the lights if you're staying up late reading and you don't want to bother your spouse or partner getting in and out of the boat. So, all right, there's really only one last place to go on this boat, and that's forward, and it's a really cool space. So let's go up and take a look. So still one of my favorite features of this boat is how wide it is walking up here. So a big guy like myself can walk up very easily to the front of the boat, and you have one of my favorite changes between the Series 1 and the Series 2, which is this entire front space here. You have got sunken in lounge chairs, and you have a bow pad right here, and both of these can be actually connected via an option for the extra large sun pad. So there's a frame that goes in here, and that allows you to fill in this entire space with cushions. Additionally, you have got pole receivers right here for a sunshade that connects back on the cabin roof, which we'll show you in a minute. And here we go at the front of the boat. We've got your starboard running light, obviously your anchor roller, and your port running light over there, starboard bow cleat, so on and so forth. And right underneath this guy, we have got access to your windlass, which is a quick windlass, and then a nice deep anchor locker right here. So it's not an option on the boat, but we frequently put it in for people, which is a washdown and anchor washdown pump. And you have another remote, or I should say a wired remote, for running your windlass right here up at the bow if you had somebody else on the boat. If not, you can run all of that right from the helm station. So you have the ability to do either on this boat, which is an awesome feature if you're cruising alone. Back here on this seat, the middle seat, you've got the ability to open up your hatches and get airflow through the boat, both from this window and this window back here, or I should say, not window, hatch. So these little buttons right here, this one actually doubles as a way to hold this in, and then it's also a cover, so you can just leave the bow cushions out and cover them up with an optional cover. You've got 2 cup holders on either side, and then if you walk that way, I'll walk this way and I'll show you the top of the boat. So right here on each side is your D-ring for attaching your sunshade, which we'll show you a picture of in another shot. We have got your spotlight, which is usable by your remote right down there at the helm station. This is for your Yamaha GPS so that it can hold on station if you've hit the stay point functionality. You've got your nice sturdy roof racks up here, which also double as great handholds moving back and forth on this part of the boat. Nice big deck up here. Some people have put solar on these boats just to keep them. You've got multiple spaces to put it. You've got a space up here at the front, and you've got a space back behind where the sliders slide to. And then going from the starboard side over to the port, you've got your VHF antenna, your anchor / running light. You have got your horn, which makes a weird noise when it's all covered in styrofoam like that. Makes much better noise without it. And then the farthest right item is actually a TV antenna, which we have not installed yet. So that is a pretty comprehensive overview of the Jeanneau NC 895 Series 2. My name is Anton Weber with Norton Yachts in Deltaville, Virginia. My number is 804-776-9211. Give me a call if you have any questions. Thank you.